Beamy, 27. New apartment, not fancy, but quiet. Fresh paint smell, creaky floors, my own keys. Freedom initiated, dragging boxes down the hallway. Door across the hall suddenly swings open. Out steps her. Mid-30s, brunette, confident walk. Jeans, oversized sweater. Somehow still looks like she walked out of a movie. She's holding a backpack in one hand and a tiny human in the other. Little boy around 6 stares at me like I'm an alien. New neighbor? She asks with a half smile. Yeah, just moved in. Her voice is warm but sharp, like someone who doesn't take bullshit. The kid narrows his eyes. Are you a criminal? I choke on air. She sighs. Noah, we talked about asking strangers that. But what if he is? Her smirk gets sharper. Then we'll move again. They walk off down the hall. I'm left standing there holding a box of ramen and regret. As my door clicks shut, I hear the kid whisper. He looks weird. Her voice. Yeah, but maybe a nice kind of weird. Unpack a few boxes. Hear faint laughter from across the hall. Couple days later, still tripping over unpacked boxes, living off instant noodles and bad coffee. Knock on my door interrupts my tragic bachelor routine. Open it, she's standing there. Hoodie, hair in a loose bun, that same half smile. Hey, sorry to bother you. My sink's leaking like it's auditioning for the Titanic. You wouldn't happen to have a wrench, would you? Me, holding spoon like an idiot. Maybe? Follow her across the hall. Apartment smells like cinnamon and chaos. Toys everywhere. Kids drawing on the wall, faint jazz playing in the background. I crouch under the sink. She hands me tools. Water splashes my shirt. She bursts out laughing. Wow, real man of the house. Yeah, well, plumbing is my passion, I mutter. Her kid Noah peeks around the corner. Why are you helping my mom? Because your sink is broken. He squints at me like a tiny detective. Or because you like her. Almost drop the wrench on my foot. She laughs so hard she snorts, then covers her face. Noah, go play. Fine, but I'm watching you. We fix the leak somehow. She offers me a glass of wine as a thank you. I almost say no, but she's already pouring. We sit at her small kitchen table, laughing about everything and nothing. She's divorced, graphic designer, raises her kid alone. She tells it like it's no big deal. I make some dumb joke, she laughs. Somewhere between the second glass and a joke about IKEA furniture, the air shifts. Before I leave, she leans on the doorframe, looking way too good for my weak self-esteem. Thanks for saving my kitchen, handyman. Anytime. She tilts her head like she's cataloging my reaction. Good night. Close the door, lean against the wall, and yeah, I'm screwed. A week later, almost used to hearing kid laughter through the wall, also used to seeing her in the hallway in her robe at 8 a.m. Saturday night, building is quiet. I'm halfway through microwaved lasagna when someone knocks. Open door. It's her. Hair down this time. Loose black top, jeans, smile that's half sweet, half trouble. Hey, do you have a drill? Me. For what? Hanging a shelf. Pause. And also, I'm bored. I help her with the shelf. Mostly it's her laughing at my lack of coordination. You really are a disaster with power tools. Hey, that shelf is crooked with style. Kid's already asleep, house dim and quiet. We end up on her couch, drinking cheap red wine. She's got her legs tucked up, looking way too comfortable in my personal space. She asks about my ex. I tell her a little too much. She listens like someone who's been there too. She talks about her divorce. No tears, just quiet honesty. I got tired of being with someone who made me feel like I was in the way. At some point, we're sitting close enough our knees touch. She doesn't move away. I don't either. She looks at me. Steady, direct, zero hesitation. You're trouble, you know that? You're one to talk. Her lips curve into a smile that could burn the building down. Before I can overthink it, she leans in. Slow, deliberate. First kiss hits like a punch in the chest. I forget how breathing works. She pulls back just enough to whisper against my mouth. This is stupid. Yeah. Then she kisses me again anyway. The rest of the night is a blur of heat and bad decisions. Her laugh against my neck, her hands pulling me closer like she's been waiting for this longer than she'll admit. Wake up the next morning in her bed, sunlight through the blinds, her hair a mess on the pillow. She opens one eye, mutters, "This never happened." Sure. Neither of us believes it for a second. Next few days feel like a glitch in the system. We don't talk about that night. but we keep finding each other anyway. She knocks on my door for sugar. I end up at her place for Netflix. We both know what's happening. One morning, I step into the hallway, half awake, hoodie on backwards. She's standing at her door, hair in a messy bun, holding a coffee mug like a queen, smirk locked and loaded. "Morning, handyman." "Morning, bad influence." Her kid Noah appears in dinosaur pajamas, yawning. "Why are you always here?" She chokes on her coffee. I die inside. "Just neighbors, buddy," she says quickly. He squints like a tiny FBI agent. "Weird neighbors." The thing is, it's not just physical anymore. We talk until stupid hours. She tells me how she left her ex with nothing but a kid and a car that barely worked, how she rebuilt everything from scratch. One night she's cooking pasta, hair tied up, music low. She's dancing barefoot on the tile, badly. I lean against the doorway, watching like an idiot. She turns, catches me staring. "What?" "Nothing." She tilts her head, eyes soft but dangerous. "You're staring, tall boy." "Maybe." She walks up close, sauce spoon still in hand, whispers, "You shouldn't look at me like that." "Why not?" "Because then I'll forget this is supposed to be simple." Before I can answer, she kisses me again. Later, we're sitting on her couch, eating pasta from the same bowl, like two idiots who swore this wasn't serious. Her kid asleep down the hall, her head resting on my shoulder. TV flickering light across the room. She mutters, quiet, "This is getting dangerous." "Yeah, we should stop." "Are we going to?" She looks up at me, smirks. "No." Saturday afternoon, she invites me over to help move a dresser. We're laughing, music on, kid building a Lego city in the living room. Then the doorbell rings. She opens it, and there he is, Mark, also known as the ex-husband, clean haircut, leather jacket, face like he still thinks he's the main character. "Hey, Liv," he says, voice smooth in that punchable way. I texted about picking up Noah early. Her jaw tightens a little. "Yeah, you're early." Mark looks past her, straight at me, holding a dresser drawer like an idiot in the middle of her living room. He smirks. "Well, this is new." She doesn't flinch. "Not your business anymore, Mark." His eyes narrow. "He lives here now?" "No, he's helping." "Helping what exactly?" The kid runs up. "Hi, Dad." Mark ruffles his hair, but doesn't take his eyes off me. Alpha male stare down initiated. She puts a hand on the door, voice calm but sharp. "You're here for Noah, not for me. Pick him up, take him to the park, and leave." Mark looks like he wants to say something slick, but she shuts the door on him before he gets the chance. I'm still standing there with the damn drawer in my hands. "So, fun family reunion." She exhales hard. "Yeah, he's charming, isn't he?" We don't talk much for the next few minutes. Later, after Mark leaves with Noah, we're sitting on the floor next to the half-built dresser. She finally says it. "He used to think everything I did was his decision to make, even who I could talk to." I don't say anything. I just put my hand on hers. Small, quiet gesture. She doesn't pull away. She looks at me, tired but steady. "I don't need saving, you know." "Yeah, I figured that out." She smiles. And in that moment, I know this thing between us isn't just a fling anymore, a few weeks later. Whatever this is between us has turned into a routine. Coffee in the morning, dinners at her place. We still haven't called it anything, but the neighborhood definitely has. First sign, Mrs. Caldwell from 3B. Professional gossip, self-appointed hallway queen. Catches us leaving her apartment together at 8 a.m. Me in hoodie, her in oversized shirt that is 100% mine. Mrs. Caldwell raises an eyebrow so high it touches God. "Morning, lovebirds." Me, short-circuiting. Her, "Morning," like she owns the building. Second sign, Noah, tiny agent of chaos, tells the neighbor kid at the playground. "Mom's neighbor sleeps at our place a lot. He eats our cereal." 5 minutes later, 3 parents know. 10 minutes later, the whole floor knows. Third sign, Jake, my best friend, shows up uninvited. Walks in to find her wearing my hoodie, sitting cross-legged on the couch, stealing fries off my plate. Jake looks at her, looks at me. "Ah, so this is why you've been ignoring the group chat." She smirks. "Hi, I'm the distraction. Jake, I like her." Fourth sign, Mrs. Caldwell again, corners me by the mailboxes, leans in with the energy of a soap opera narrator. "You know, dear, she hasn't smiled like that in a long time." Me overheating. Cool, mail, gotta go. Late one night, we're on her balcony sharing cheap wine out of mugs. City lights below, her head resting on my shoulder. She mutters, "People are starting to talk." Yeah, I noticed. Does that freak you out? Pause. Not really. She looks up at me then, eyes soft, not guarded for once. Good. I'm done pretending I don't like this. Yeah, I say quietly. Me too. No big kiss scene, just her hand finding mine. Friday night. She's making dinner, music playing. Her kids at a sleepover, we've got the place to ourselves. She's wearing one of my shirts, dancing in the kitchen like it's her territory now. Honestly, it kind of is. Doorbell rings. I open it. Mark again, looking way too casual to be casual. Forgot Noah's favorite book here. Thought I'd grab it. She stiffens the moment she sees him. Mark steps in like he owns the air. Eyes lock on me, and it's clear he's not here for the damn book. "You're still here," he says to me. "Yeah," I answer. Weird how that happens when you're invited. She tries to diffuse it. "Mark, just take the book and go." But Mark's got that X energy, the kind that can't handle losing control. "You really think this is gonna last?" he says, looking straight at her. He's not a dad. He's a phase. I see her face shift. Not anger, not fear, just hurt. And that's when my temper kicks in. You don't get to talk to her like that. And you don't get to play house with my family, he snaps back. Next 30 seconds, tense, loud, messy. He's throwing shade. I'm throwing it right back. She finally steps between us, voice sharp. "Both of you, out." I freeze. "Wait, me too?" "Yes, out." I leave. Not slamming the door, but close to it. That walk back to my place feels longer than any distance I've ever crossed. Part of me's mad at Mark. Part of me's mad at her. But mostly I'm mad at how easy it was for everything to crack. She doesn't text that night. I don't either. Next morning, she knocks on my door. Looks tired, hair in a loose bun, no makeup, no armor. "We need to talk." She steps inside, sits down, exhales like she's been holding it in all night. "I panicked," she says. "I saw both of you standing there, and it felt like my past and my maybe colliding. And I didn't know how to handle it." I lean against the counter. I'm not trying to replace anyone, but I'm not going to disappear every time he decides to mark territory. Silence. She nods slowly. "You're right. I need to stop letting him get in my head." She looks up, eyes steady now. If this is real, and it is, then I need to stop treating it like something fragile. That's all it takes. One look, one quiet, "yeah." And the tension starts to crack, not us. She steps closer, fingers brushing mine. "You're not a phase," she says. And damn, that hits harder than any kiss. But she kisses me anyway. Months pass after the blow-up. We're not just neighbors anymore. I still live across the hall, but more and more of my stuff just happens to end up at her place. One hoodie turned into a drawer turned into a toothbrush. Now I've got a corner of her closet and a small army of Lego blocks stabbing my feet at night. One evening, Noah's asleep early after a sugar-fueled birthday party. We're on the couch, she suddenly says. "You know, I never planned on falling for my neighbor." I laugh. "Yeah, well, I never planned on learning how to step on Legos and survive." She grins, but there's something else behind her eyes. Steady, certain. She turns to me. "This is the part where you get scared and run away, right?" I raise an eyebrow. "Do I look like I'm running?" "No," she says quietly. "And that's why it scares me." She's fought too many battles alone. I get that. She's built walls so high that the fact I'm still here freaks her out. I take her hand, thumb brushing over her knuckles. "I'm not going anywhere, Liv." Her eyes flicker between panic and something warmer. "You sure about this? About me? About all of it?" "Yeah, all of it." She laughs, a soft, shaky one. "God, you're an idiot." "Yeah," I say, "but I'm your idiot." Fast forward a few weeks, my lease is up. I don't renew it. Instead, I'm carrying boxes across the hall. Mrs. Caldwell is watching from her door with popcorn like it's a soap opera finale. "About time," she says. Olivia rolls her eyes. Noah yells, "He lives here now," like he's announcing breaking news. That night, the three of us are sitting on the living room floor surrounded by unpacked boxes. Pizza box in the middle. Olivia's hair a mess, Noah wearing my hoodie like a cape. She leans into me and whispers, "This is chaos." I grin. "Yeah, Feels like home. Final scene, Noah asleep on the couch, half under a blanket. She curls into my side, my arm around her. She looks up at me with that dangerous, stupid, perfect smile. You're really not going anywhere, huh? Nope. Good. Door across the hall stands empty. Because everything I need is on this side now.